Keong Saik has a very colourful history, as we all know, but I like Keong Saik because it's so condensed, the old and the new Singapore as well. Along the same street you have the old establishments, but likewise you have the new Michelin star restaurants that represents the cosmopolitan nature of how Singapore is developed. Along the same street you have the Indian temple and then the Chinese temple as well. You get the flavour of both Singapore, whether is it evolved or whether is it the former days. And I really love that, the sense of heritage, the sense of modernity as well within shophouses. When we first came in, it was the old Chinatown hotel that was refurbished around the late 1990s. So when we first came, it was really in a state of a very original condition. It was well kept, it was a very classy hotel, but you can feel that it's within a time capsule. Everything is frozen and you just like that. I mean, I personally, I like that challenge to be able to come in to say, this is a nice spot, this is on a hill elevated ground. Let's do something to repurpose the place, to give it a new life. I think to me that is something that's very satisfying.
The initial brief was they wanted a boutique hotel, of course, and it must be something that is totally different, something more refreshing, and also the consideration of how do we make full use of tight spaces.
Shophouses are very modular, they tend to be quite long and narrow. I mean, the economies of scale can come in if you can merge various shophouses, but of course, if it's conserved, you're not allowed to tear down the intermediate walls.
We have to respond to the different requirements of trying to bring daylight into every room as much as possible. For the rooms that are in contact with the exterior facade, there's certain URA conservation guidelines that we have to respect. So you have to start forming little kinks and spaces, and how we deal with those kinks, it becomes a space for a study desk or even a little pantry space that you can look out over the conservation windows. For some of the rooms that's not in contact with the exterior facade, one of the strategies that we use is to introduce skylight into the space. In fact, on the second floor, we have this open space where the guests can use it as a communal area.
We have 45 unique rooms with 45 different layouts. There's also an opportunity whereby guests are encouraged to come back again because they can try out different rooms, different angles and different types of surroundings. We engage two local artists. One of them is Tricia Liao. She's a digital artist. The brief to her is essentially create images that kind of blends modern society with the urban jungle. She did that through digital manipulated photographs and composites, and that is being represented on our art murals. The other artist that we engaged was Danielle Tay. She did for us a 13 meters high hand-painted wall mural, and that is actually within our lift shaft. And there's a glass lift. The artwork is about different stages of the jungle. Quite a mesmerizing artistic journey when the moment the guest steps into our hotel.
I like that it's like very artistic themed. You know, there are people who like paint on the walls here. It's really different from my other staycation experiences. Brings back a bit of olden day vibes, but revamped with something modern and contemporary.
Every part of the space is also bespoke. Every corner you turn, there's a surprise waiting for our target audience. The millennials, they are a very spontaneous bunch. They like Instagram. Essentially, their lifestyles evolves around social media as well. So we want to give them that avenue to kind of put things together and to put it onto their lifestyles and put it on their social media. I think essentially it becomes a very technologically driven, but how do you make the tangible, such as a shop house and a space, to be able to be amplified on their digital platform?
When we were designing this cafe, we wanted to bring together all elements to interpret it in a more modern way. The selection of materials was intentionally things like terrazzo finishes, even for the table, even rattan finishes for the furniture. They come together to become some sort of a fusion of the past and the present.
These buildings, they're sort of like a remnant of the past, just remind you how things used to be. They don't really make buildings like that anymore. So I think it's beautiful that they are repurposed and still kept around so that, still keep a little bit of old Singapore alive.
The real estate game is not just about having places and then you just lease them out or you just sell them. You need to be able to come up with a concept, a certain lifestyle that attracts people to come into the place. And I think we have a right conduit. We have the Shophouse. Right now is how do you breathe life into the Shophouse and how do you attract the next generation to come in and to be able to fulfill, their ambitions, their aspirations or ideals within the Shophouse.
The typical transformation of shop houses in Singapore, especially recently, is so-called gentrifications. It lost the original use as a house, as a dwelling space, but it's been changed to cafe, to bar, even boutique hotels, offices, because of this movement of population.
The building we're currently in is number 1 Keong Siak. 1 Keong Siak consists of 5 amalgamated shop houses built circa 1920s. It's a good example of how a neighborhood can evolve with the times in a way that is relevant. I love the combination of the old and the new. I think it's a resilient and real community and neighborhood.
The broad offer of Keong Siak with institutional local eateries here since 20-30 years and this brand new international restaurant makes a unique place. That's why everybody loves to come to Keong Siak.
I think it's great, to have seen Keong Siak transform over the years. The transformation brought with it renewal, newness, that keeps the whole place alive in a sense that when people are coming in and, we're still able to tell stories about the place, that allows a discovery as well of what the place is.
Shop houses have lent a unique flavor to many neighborhoods across Singapore, including Keong Siak. Perhaps because of just the visual attractiveness that they present to the viewer. There's so much detail. There's always something to see on each building, because each building, depending on who designed it, who built it, who lived in it, had a certain manifestation. So you can tell this is a house of this clan or that community, right? Coming together to form a wonderful aesthetic ensemble. For a lot of people, they assume that conservation is just for the facade. But the true spirit of conservation is beyond facade. It's about understanding what's important about a building and managing change such that whatever's important is sustained in the future, while change allows it to take on new value.
As long as you have a permanent people who stay in relatively long period of time in a neighborhood, then you have the sense of neighborhood.
Hi. Good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in to our another webinar. Our RTD commercial team webinar. So thank you for tuning in. So actually, maybe I will just highlight a bit of function of the webinar. Okay. The reason why I'm saying so because you guys later can actually type in your question. So there's a Q&A. There's a Q&A column there. So if you can actually type in something like, good evening for everyone. Good evening. Maybe just type a good evening into the Q&A section. Okay, and at least we guys know that you guys are ready. If you guys are ready, maybe type a good evening. Okay, thank you, Dawn. Okay, good evening. Thank you, and Hiroshi. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you, Susie. Okay, good. Okay, thank you, Rachel. Okay, Thank you, Charles. And yoga. There's the yoga there. Okay. Okay. There's the yoga. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Guan, right? Guan, okay, good. So this is how this webinar will be. So of course, let us start the session, and maybe we can just start with Karen and Kelly. So how is your day? You know, while waiting for the rest, a bit of more people coming up, because someone's still sending me, you know, can you send me the webinar link? Actually, I have already sent out to all your agents who have invited you guys. So you guys should be having all your webinar links. So just get from your agent who has invited you. Okay, so how is Kelly and Karen today going?
Good. Actually, quite a busy day,
Okay. Very good, very good.
Quite a busy day. Luckily, we prepared all these things a few days in advance. Otherwise, today is super panic.
Yeah, no worry, no worry. Anyway, you guys has did so much research, and you guys are going to give a very great session for all the participants here. Okay. So Kelly, how about you, Kelly?
Very fruitful day. Yeah, since morning I'm out for some training for front tech runner and learn of a lot of things, new things.
Yeah, good. So for me, I have went for a viewing in CBD. So it's actually I am at Kampong Glam. Okay, I'm at Kampong Glam first. So I have a viewing at this place called Busoro Street. So Busoro Street is a very vibrant street, and really there's the huge crowd of tourists and Singaporean. I think, you know, Singaporean and tourists are all there. And the weather today is quite nice. Of course, there's some drizzling just now, but still the crowd won't stop the crowd there. They still take the umbrella and they are still there. So it's a wonderful place to actually play. So for me, I'm there for viewing, and there's a unit that I have viewed. So later I will share the story about this. Okay, because later we will have some case study. And this case study are something that we have truly seen it, and there's a lot of people who are not aware about you know, buying commercial property. How actually are you going to hold? How are you going to buy a commercial property using holding company to purchase? So there's so much thing that we are going to cover, and the last thing that we are going to do is there will be hot picks that are handpicked by our speaker. Okay, later I'm going to introduce you guys. Okay, so hot picks from our speaker, and later we will actually share some of the deals that we can actually recommend, and you can take a look. Okay, so again, good evening, every single one here. So we are going to start the webinar now. Okay, let me share screen. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, so today our webinar, actually we have highlighted, you know, we are talking about the winning strategy in commercial real estate. Of course, we are going to cover a bit on the stamp duty. We're coming cover on the hotspot, and a bit of smart restructuring of property portfolio. Okay, so definitely the last part that we are going to do will be the hot picks. So maybe just have a show of maybe you guys can type into your comments on the Q&A stage on the right hand side, which location is this? Okay, just now actually you are watching a YouTube from this YouTube channel, you know, regarding about shop houses. So the location actually is at Keong Siak. So exactly the YouTube channel just now, you know, talking about shop house at this location, Keong Siak. Yeah, so something that this place is beautiful. You know, there's quite a lot of nice food. You know, Chinese food. We got Italian food. You know, we got Michelin star, you know, tenant on the which restaurant on the this Jak Chuan area. Okay, so these are the street. Okay, so let us start the session. So a bit of disclaimer. So of course, any investment into any property, of course, there's a bit of due diligence that you need to do. Of course, you can actually check with your agents who have invited you for this today webinar. Okay, to go through some of the thing, because to buy a commercial property, you know, in terms of loan and thing, is a bit different. I think quite a big difference with residential. And commercial property, taking a loan actually is quite flexible. It's quite flexible. So yeah, we can cover a bit later, if we have time. But today, basically, we are not talking about loan, but it's just that this is something that we want to highlight. And also, there's quite a lot of things to talk about. So a bit of introduction about our team. So we call ourselves as Plot Next RTD commercial team, and these are the group of people that we actually come together. And in short, for us, the reason why we are coming together, to brainstorm about this sector, commercial property, include, retail shop, include industrial, include offices, and of course shop houses. These are all part of commercial and industrial. So we actually brainstorm together. We can sometimes we will take a look. We'll take at some of the listing that we are marketing. So we will share some of the listing that actually is good that we can actually recommend to our customer. So we actually share among ourselves. And actually today our team actually has launched a EOI, Express of Interest by Alex Wong. So this Express of Interest actually, it is too last minute and just launched only, and it is in H plot. So we have just launched it, but later Alex Wong will be coming in to share about his latest listing. Okay, and you guys can take a look. Okay. So yep, of course, our team has a track record of we have actually sold over $1 billion of commercial properties, okay, including shophouse transaction. Okay, we have some transaction in industrial, we have transaction in office, but in short, actually, we are over 1 billion. Actually, by today, I think we are somewhere about 1.3 million already, 1.3 billion. Okay, so these are the transactions that we have done. So we are a team of focus agent in terms of commercial and industrial. So someone that you can actually connected with. So today, what are we going to discuss about? So there's total 5 topics. So the first one that we are going to focus on is why commercial, including stamp duties. Okay, we're going to cover a bit of stamp duties. Okay, the second topic that we are going to cover will be the types of commercial property that you guys can have. You can compare. And we are going to show you something very very good chart. And that particular chart, maybe it will shock you that in terms of the growth rate, over the last 20 years. Okay, and we will also cover the restructured and repurpose, on properties. Okay, and where are the gems? And this is something that is going to be interesting. And this is covered by YQ. Where are the gems? And the last one will be we are going to focus on the hot picks. Okay. Okay, so let me introduce the 4th speaker. So on the left hand side we have GH, then we have Kelly, we have YQ, and we have Karen. So today the 4th speaker actually they really put in a lot of efforts, and they actually do a lot of research and actually gather all the slides for today is to share with every single one here in the webinar today. So definitely later you guys will have a lot of insights from them. Okay. So let me continue. Okay, so the first question. So Kelly, you want to come in?
Okay, thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard, for having me on board today for the sharing. I'm Kelly. So today my topic is why invest in Singapore commercial property and the tax involved. And here is just some questions. Before I start, I just have some Q&A. Anyone know what are the changes stamp duty for private homes? There's a question here. A, B, C. Please type your answer in the chat box. Let's see. Is YQ? Do you know what is the answer?
I know of course. The answer is I think.
Yeah, I think someone already give an answer.
Yep.
Yeah,
Rachel
mentioned give
B.
answer. Correct.
Yeah, correct. The answer is B, correct. The SST has raised from 3 years to 4 years on 4th of July this year, and the tax raised from 12 to 16%. So, do you know, YQ, do you know why government wants to impose seller stamp duty?
I think it's covered in the report because the government has noticed that there is an increasing sub-sale transactions. So by increasing this SSD to by 1 more year, right? People have to hold for 1 more year. Then this would deter speculators from disrupting the market.
Yeah, thank you, YQ. Yeah, which is very correct. The key reason is because government want to curb short-term speculation, because they realize there is a sharp surge in private residential property transact involving short time holding short period. So like YQ say, when resident those who buying new launch and flip before completion. And the other thing is they also want to promote long-term ownership. So next. So what are the impact for investor who want to hold property longer than 4 years? So these are just the 5 pointer I do a research. When your money is locked into property for years, you might miss out good opportunity. And while you're holding it, the maintenance fee, property tax, and loan interest keep chipping away your profit. Plus, if market change in prices, interest rate, even rental demand, the biggest drawback is you can't even sell the property because you will be hit by the hefty seller stamp duty. So in short,
staying there, that feels more like luck than something. It's like a disturbed setting, you're fine. I can see focused just for minutes.
But very impactful on the foreigners because they increased the foreigner ABSD from 30% to 60%. So that's the one that I think that's the targeted audience that the government wants to control.
okay, thank you. For me, I think the reason why government want to do this is because they want to control the price to go up very quickly. They just want to stabilize the whole market price to increase gradually instead of have a sharp increase before the cooling measure. So even though increase 5 times, I think the price still holding very strong, stronger and stronger every year. Next. So this Shophouse article dated sometime on April 2023 is reported ABSD reached up to 65%, like what YQ mentioned just now for foreigner. And for Singapore citizen, increased from 25 to 30% for third property. Next. So next slide, I will show you the difference about the ABSD for residential and commercial property. If you look at the red color line train, foreigner paying 65% if they want to buy a residential property, which the blue train is only 5%, maximum 5% for foreigner invest in commercial property. But of course, for Singaporeans, they have to pay 20% for second property and 30% for third property. So next slide, I will show you the difference. If let's say they are invested in 5 million property, what is the difference? If you can see at the blue bar chart, for the foreigner who buy residential in Singapore, the tax they need to pay total is 3.39 million. And for company or entity who want to invest in residential property, the total tax they need to pay close to 3.5 million, which is, I think this one can fully pay for a 3-bedroom new launch property in current market. And if they choose to invest in commercial property, which is the green color bar, they only need to pay 220,000. So there is a big gap. Next, I also want to show you, if let's say Singaporean, they want to invest in residential property versus commercial property. And if you look at the third residential property in red color chart, they need to pay, the total tax they need to pay is 1.8 million, close to 1.8 million. And if they choose to buy in commercial property, they only need to pay 220, which is, I think, 1.7 million, 1.8 million. In today's market, they easily can fully pay an industrial property with a yield easily 5 to 6%. So next. Okay, beside having all the taxes, what other benefits by investing in commercial property? First, we look at the lease. Commercial tenants tend to be having longer lease, minimum 2 to 5 years, and this gives a very stable income stream for the landlord. Second, no renovation hassle for landlord, because commercial tenant is the one who decide the renovation and the fitting to match their requirement. Less emotion attached. A investment property mostly look at rental yield, capital growth, and ROI. Fourth, diversified tenant base. I can say commercial property tenants who can rent to many types of business as long as the trade is allowable and subject to URA approval. Last but not least, of course, we are looking at the potential appreciation. So buying a shop house is like owning a small piece of land in Singapore. If the zoning is allowed for rebuilding for bigger GFA, which is later my colleague will share to you, you're already having a biggest profit by not doing anything. So lastly, let's see as the next. Okay, last. Let's see the illustrate difference between residential and commercial property. And if you can see commercial property, no ABSD, no SSD, foreign ownership allowed. The only disadvantages for commercial property is that you cannot use your CPF fund to make payment. That's all for me now. Thank you for your time and attention. I will hand over to the next speaker.
Thank you, Kelly. So anyway, just have a quick question. I think this question is quite valid for I think majority of the people. So just have a quick show of a hand. Who still have their name available to purchase a residential property without incurring additional buyer's stamp duty? If your answer is yes, you still have name, type a yes into the group chat. If you got no more names, type a no into the group chat. Yeah. Okay, so GH, do you still have names? GH?
Yeah, I have name.
You have names?
Money only.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't have any more name to buy. So that's the reason why no more names. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for the answer. Okay, so anyway, majority of the Singaporean, because of most Singaporean actually in Singapore, actually our ownership for property actually is very, very high. It's one of the highest in the world. So typically, of course, then what is next? Of course, there's an alternative so-called investment that we can look at. That's the reason why you guys are here today. So let us hand over to actually Karen. So Karen, hand over to you to share with us what are the types of commercial properties.
Thank you, Richard. Good evening, everyone. This is Karen here. I'm in the PropNext commercial team. Okay. So let me just do a quick introduction, because when we talk about commercial property, some people, they only think of office, they only think of a warehouse. Some people would think like, oh, shop house is only for the very rich people, for the family office. So just to share with you, generally, there are 5 types of commercial properties, all listed over here, from industrial all the way to shop houses. So as the name spells for itself, industrial is typically more for manufacturing purpose, warehousing purpose. So this usage for industrial, for office, medical suites, of course, the name is very obvious, retail shop, all these are fairly specific users. Whereas shop houses, I will explain later that it has a bit more flexible usage. Okay, so among all these 5 types of commercial properties, of course, there is a mixture that you can select from. There is freehold, there is leasehold, there is 30-year leasehold, 99 leasehold. There are new launches, there are also resale properties. Okay, usage, I will talk about it later. Generally, there is no seller stamp duty until the government announce something again. Okay, so until now, seller stamp duty will only apply for industrial properties, not for the other types. And there is no ABSD involved, in which my colleague earlier, Kelly, she has already explained. But please take note, please, 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 don't go and blindly just buy anything, okay? Because if there is a residential component, like some HDB shop houses upstairs, where it is a living quarters, must pay ABSD, okay? So commercial property, if there is living component, you have to pay ABSD on that part, okay? So now we move to the next one. Okay, so the next 3 slides, I will go a bit faster because there will be a recap later on. And yeah, it's a bit dry. All right. So I just want to show you very quickly the price trend of the industrial, in this case, the industrial 30 and 60-year leasehold properties. These slides are not made from PropNex. These are HProp slides, independent source. Okay. So it shows a 20-year time frame, whereby it shows that industrial leasehold property growth rate is generally at 223%. Next, for the freehold, you can see that the growth rate, is actually much more. It is a good 50% even more. Okay, so at 393, all right, leasehold. And then next, for the office, for all types of tenure, this, we can see that the growth rate is generally lower, 186% only. Okay, so this brings us to the next slide, where I have recap on the top right corner over here. I have recap for you so that we can make a comparison with the main numbers in this slide. Okay, so we can see that the orange line, that it shows the non-landed. The non-landed, the condominiums, they are over same 20-year time frame, so that we have apple-to-apple comparison. The condominium, they increased by about 264% compared to the landed. So we are comparing just the residential right now. The landed, they have increased by about 328%. So this 328% landed is almost the same as the industrial freehold, actually, almost in the 300-ish percentage. And then you compare with the shop houses, is even almost close to 500%, as we can see over here. Okay, so the numbers, they don't lie. All right, so you will, of course, all of you are potential buyers. Everyone, where do they look? They look at the dips. They're very excited. Hey, how come I got dips? Nobody told me during these times of dips. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think is this first dip? Can you type in the Q&A box? What do you think is this first dip? What happened? What happened it is in the year around 2020? Anyone? Wow. 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 Okay. Okay. Good. COVID. Okay. So yes, and it's good that we are all here. We all survived COVID. Okay. And yes. So over here talking about COVID. And of course, I like Richard to share a very interesting real case study that he went through during the COVID times. Richard?
Yep. Yeah, thank you, Karen. So during this COVID, the shops are all closed. Typically, it's not just the shop are closed. The entire Singapore, the mall, the shopping mall, the hawker center are all closed. Okay, so during this period, there's of course when the shop are closed, the tenant will not be able to pay the renter, even though government has come in and subsidized all the renter. So, but again, the landlord will not be able to collect rental from the tenant. So due to that, there's one incident that I actually noticed it. Okay, one of the unit at Chinatown. Okay, this Chinatown shop houses is a freehold, okay, conservation shop house in one of the very prime location in Chinatown. So this property, actually the value of this property is a 2-story shop house. It's about approximately 13 million. So this unit, be pre-COVID, the unit is already on the market. But during the COVID period, the same buyer who has viewed the unit, called me and actually given me an offer of 9 million. Okay, the market rate for that particular is 12, 13 million. Just imagine. He has given an offer of 9 million. So to me, I still have to update the seller, even though the price are so low. So I just called the seller. Seller, got one buyer just called me, and we are talking about COVID now. The shops are all closed, and he has given me an offer of 9 million. So seller never reject me. Seller just keep never reply me also. Okay, after 1 day, after one day plus, he called me and he said, Richard, you talk to the buyer. If he can come closer to 10 million, I will consider. So in short, cut the story short, the buyer actually offered 9.5 and the seller accept the offer. So that is what is happening. Really, that's what happening. So anyway, the unit was sold. So during that period, actually this window of opportunity is very narrow. It could be approximately about 3 months to 5 months. So 3 to 5 month range, maybe somewhere about September 2020, and the market started to a bit better now, and don't know what happened. The price just continue. Okay, so anyway, it's not just about shop house, even residential is the same. Okay, hand over to you, Karen.
Yeah. And then we have the second dip, not long ago, at the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. So this one, I think, again, it puts Singapore in a spotlight, like in a global spotlight for the wrong reason. It's the $3 billion money laundering case. All right. So, and of course, during this time, some of the shop houses were implicated with this money laundering. Actually, about 10 shop houses were involved. And of course, the government had to sell them off. And very quickly, they were all sold off. So, and very quickly, the property prices just picked up again. All right. So this slide mainly is to show you that the shop houses, look at the capital appreciation versus other types of commercial properties, and then also in comparison with the residential properties. All right. Okay. So we move on to the next one. So we talk about, as humans, we always like something that is limited in supply. Even when we choose our spouse, we try to think they are the rare ones, right? Same. Okay. The rarity, limited supply. Anything limited supply, you say, sure, it's rare, sure, it's good. And then we also believe that there will be capital appreciation, there is heritage value. So why I want to compare the shop houses versus the good class bungalow? Because in terms of the commercial, in terms of the residential, these two are considered the best asset class in each of their category. Okay, generally about 6,500 shop houses, commercial or private shop houses, versus 2,700 GCBs in Singapore. All right, so then we look further in to the next slide, that we can see that, as what Kelly as well has already explained, there is no ABSD on shop houses, okay, except if there's a residential component, but majority there is no ABSD. Good class bungalow, of course, we know there is, if it's the second property onwards. And good class bungalow, maybe I'll explain later. So in terms of the quantum, I want to say that generally it's various for the shop houses. Good class bungalow, they are typically in the 30 mil range. And for shop houses, those that we are talking about, those really like the golden ones, they say the crème de la crème. It means like they are the best of the best. That these type of shop houses are typically in the District 1 and 2, the Tanjong Pagar, the Chinatown area. This is a central area in which they are also in the $20-30 million mark. So almost the same price as the good class bungalow. But shop houses, you can actually find those in the smaller quantum, 5 to 10 million. And these are at Little India as well as Chinatown area. So the quantum, you can get a variety. In terms of the owner restriction, yes, for the shop houses, there is no owner restriction per se. So this means that foreigners, they can buy, no ABSD. Whereas for the good class bungalow, of course, we know that this is only limited to the locals. PRs, yes, the very special PRs, but there is only a limitation on the size of the good class bungalow that they can get, only up to 15,000 square feet. Okay, so as compared to shop house, foreigners, they're eligible to buy. Flexible usage, of course. All right, from gym to use of hotel, as what Richard has explained earlier. Good class bungalow clearly is for residential purpose only. All right, and then next. So just for the benefit of some members over here, some participants here, the shop houses very broadly categorized into historic conservation, secondary, as well as HDB shop houses. When we say historic conservation, it means that this is designated by the government. It already says conservation, meaning that you don't touch the outside. Okay, it says conserve. The whole building must be conserved. Generally, they are in the four main areas: Boat Quay, Chinatown, Kampong Glam, which is the Bugis area, and Little India. Okay, and then followed by the secondary settlement, in which these are built a little bit later because back then the population, they moved out from the city center a little bit. Okay, so these are typically in the like the Juche area, basically a little bit more on the outskirts. Secondary settlement also attracts a different type of investors because there is potential to actually build a rear extension, okay, in which they can maximize what we call the gross plot ratio. Then finally, I think all of us are quite familiar, the HDB shop houses, in which basically these are from the HDBs. Yeah, so there are some with the living quarters on the upper floor. So just take note of that, okay? And then next, I believe it's it's my last one. So before purchase, we always have to do a lot of checks. You know, we need to be mindful that agents are not, the agents, they actually do a lot of work behind for you. Okay, they have to also check on the zoning. Whether when you see something, is it really a full commercial property? And all this, it has to be checked against URA website. All right, this is all designated under the master plan by URA. And then we also have to check what is the current usage. Sometimes when you see a shop that is, that you think is F&B, but is it really F&B when you are going to purchase? All this you need to check. All right, and as well as what are the allowable usage for it. Just wondering if anybody has been following the news that the government, I think it was just a few days ago, I think government talked about usage, some usage changes around the Boat Quay, Clarke Quay area. Does anybody know what's going on? Because somehow, all my owners, all my landlords, even tenants, all like get very excited because the government announced this thing. Does anyone know what's going on around this whole Boat Quay Circular Road area? No one. Wow, you're missing out a huge opportunity. Okay, so the government, it actually intends to revive this whole nightlife area. So around the Boat Quay, Clarke Quay area, so they are saying that they are able to extend the liquor license. Maybe I let that person say first. Operation until 4 a.m. Very good. And of course, they also foresee that more F&B license, nightclub, bars. And of course, that's why these 2 days, suddenly I have so many people like interested, and they are starting to ask, this unit can convert or not? Can convert into bar or not? So I think there is going to be massive interest around this area. Okay, so all this usage, we will always have to check against URA. All right, so this is to say that do work with your agents. And if your agents are, they are not familiar, do feel free to get them to approach us. We are happy to co-broke, but do get a specialized commercial agent to work together with. All right, okay, pass to you, back to Richard. Thank you.
Okay, so there's something that we want to share with you guys. So there's two case study. There's two case study that we will be sharing with you. So maybe I just dive in straight to the case study one. Okay, the first one that we are going to share is something that is very close to, I think, majority of them. So this case study, actually, this residential client, actually their surname is Mr. Tan. So actually they own two condos, one 99 yearly sold, okay, two are all 99 yearly sold, value at one at 2.5 million, and the other one is at 1.8. So typically husband and wife lah, in short. Husband and wife, and they are close to 40s, 30 plus, close to 40s, and they are high income earner. So each of them actually crossed the 10 over thousand. So two-person actually close to almost 30,000. So their income actually quite high. Okay, so typically they don't need to sell their residential, and they get to know from his friend that talking about Shophouse. So actually they get interested, they connected with us, we went down and we chit-chat with them, and we tell them the reason and exactly what we mentioned about the ABST, and we mentioned about what Karen has highlighted about, talking about the shop houses, the alternative, and they are only very focused, because they are very focused. They just straight away say, let's discuss about shop house. So I dive into the shop house and we mentioned about shop house. So in short, they are excited. So what are the things? So basically they can actually buy, and they don't need to sell the both condo. So in short, I just go straight. Okay, so let's look at it. So in short, he found a partner, and this is the first commercial property that they actually bought. So they just want to be more conservative. Okay, actually they find a partner, and this friend is equally same. Their income is also high. So basically two shareholders come together and they actually invest in one of the commercial property at 5 million. So then just make a guess. This is about 2.5 years ago, approximately 2.5 years ago. So they actually go in and buy, or each of them 2.5 million. So they buy a $5 million 999 leasehold shop house at 5 million. Actually today the value is approximate 7.5 million. Okay, this unit actually is in Kampong Glam. Okay, so one of the unit that are actually valued at 7.5 million now. So what I want to share is, even though $2.5 million, if you have 2%, typically you can still buy lah. If you have 3%, actually it's 7.5 million. Okay, if you have 3%, each of them got 2.5 million, 3% is 7.5 million. So very easy calculation, and it is possible because these are all commercial property. Okay, set up a holding company, shareholder 1, shareholder 2, shareholder 3. Okay, it can be shareholder up to 7, and maybe you can go all the way to 10. So anyway, 10 is too much. Okay, we will not want to go to 10, but we talk about 2 and 3. It's already very good idea. If you got 3%, 2.5 million is 7.5 million. So but this property actually they get only a partner to buy. So in short, he cannot believe that you can actually own a shop house of $5 million. Okay, so you go ahead and buy for this unit. So today 7.5 million. So I got another case study. This is something even better. Okay, this is a case study that this residential client, Mr. Lim, actually owned one landed. Okay, 7 million price tag, and a condo 99 lease sold at Sentosa. This is in Azure. Okay, value at 3.5 million. This is approximate 2 years plus ago. Okay, so maybe make a guess. What is the value of this Azure in today's market? Maybe just make a guess. Maybe Karen, you want to make a guess?
Azure, I think
Azure in
Sentosa
today's market.
a bit less.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know.
this three bedroom is 1,007 square feet. Directly facing you. The photo on the right hand side is exactly the view of the sea view. Yeah, right in front only. It's so beautiful. Okay, so
Three, I don't know.
3 million. Okay, actually it's true. Actually it's true. Okay, let me continue. Later I will share more. So in short, okay, this customer, he sell away the Azure at 3.5 million. Okay, that's two years plus ago. Okay, and he go ahead and invest in the shop house. Okay, with one of the partner, because of he sell the 3.5 million. 2% actually they actually come in and buy a shop house at 9 million. So each of them is 4.5 million. So just based on this particular unit 9 million, to be honest, okay, because of this customer, Mr. Lim actually sold away the 3.5. So because of that, he has quite a lot of cash coming. So because of the 3.5 million of cash, Of course, he got some loan only. So, but typically he has a lot of cash. So because of the cash, he's able to actually go ahead and invest in 4.5 million. But he get another partner to come in, and that partner is equally high income, and they are very excited about shop houses. So two actually come together. He buy a $9 million shop house. This is in where? This is in CBD. So two actually it's 2 story. The unit actually is quite small. It's not very big. Okay, it's not very big. But actually, in short, they go ahead and buy the unit at 9 million. Okay, today the value of the shop house is easily 13 million, maybe 14 million. Okay, so that is typically is what happened. So something interesting that Karen actually I was sharing with the team. So I get to know one of the unit at Busoro Street. Okay, this Busoro Street unit that I am marketing now. Okay, and this Busoro Street, I know that this particular owner who bought the unit at approximate 3.5 million. So make a guess. How many shareholders are coming together to buy this $3.5 million of shop house in Busoro Street? Make a guess. So it's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, it's 5, it's 6. Kelly, how many, Kelly? Make a guess.
I think
Yeah.
five sharing 3.5.
Five sharing. Oh, there's 7. Hiroshi said 7. Okay, someone said 30. Cannot be 30. Okay, so anyway, the number of shareholders that has come in actually is 6. 6. So 3.5 million over 6 shareholders. So each of them is how much? GH calculator, take out, calculate 3.5 million over 6%. Actually, it's close to 600,000. YQ, you are mute, no problem. GH, you are mute, no problem. So actually, it's close to 600,000 per shareholder.
Yep.
Okay, so I just have to say, every single one in the room now, okay, every single one in the room are able to buy a shop house, okay, with 6 shareholders to bought at 3.5 million. So are you guys interested? If you guys are interested, type a 1 into the Q&A. Type a 1 if you are interested. Okay, type a 1 into the Q&A. Okay, so that is exactly what happened. Okay, so these six shareholder bought at 3.5 million, and of course, they are happy that they bought a unit at 3.5 million. Okay, and okay, anyway, I will not talk so much, but I'm just trying to tell you, because of the commercial property asset, okay, and be it any shareholder has how many residential property, it doesn't matter, because commercial don't attract ABST. So be it you got how many property count on residential, it doesn't matter. You can come together or set up a holding company. Every single one come in, and even though it is a holding company, you can actually based on TDSR to take a loan. Okay, but 6 shareholder, every single one of them has a reasonable income. They got no issue to take a 80% loan of 3.5 million. To be honest, so they got no issue on the loan. But in short, they are able to actually started their investment journey into shop house. Okay, so that's what I want to share. Okay, so let me get our next speaker GH to actually come in and share why shop house is the best asset class in Singapore.
Thank you, Richard. Hello, everyone. Good evenings. This is GH. Okay, basically, my teammates Harry and Karen has shared about why it's the best asset class. Here is just some recap. Okay, basically, why we say that conserved shop house is the best asset, because first of all, the location. All the conserved shop house are located at a prime location, which is like Chinatowns, Kampong Grams, Tanjong Pagar, Joo which has been a center of business activities since decades ago until today. Yeah. And also, as you are aware, just now that Karen has shared, it's very exclusive because of the limited quantity. It's only 6,500 to 7,000. There won't be any new shop house on in the future. Yep. you're buying something that is limited collection, right? And come to versatilities, is more flexible compared to the others commercial units, where you can change of the use to from bar, restaurants, office, or even residentials, as well as a hotel or hostels, which is more flexible in use. Okay. Of course, we do have a government incentive to subsidize on the improvement of the property. Okay. And the last thing, of course, as what Harry had mentioned just now, you're not buying just the property itself, but you are buying a piece of land in this very prime location, and it's very limited supply, right? Of course, others advantage, no BS, no ABSD, no SSD, and the best part is foreigner can buy. Means what? You have more buyers. When you are planning for exit, the pool of buyer is much bigger compared to others like Resys and all this. Right? Okay. Next, Richard. Okay. Next, we'll talk about how you can improve your shop house profile by a few upgradings. Let's minus change of views. Taking example, this unit at 199 East Coast Road, it was taken over by a new owner in somewhere 2020. Okay, before that, it's just as used as a restaurant at the first floor and then Resi on the second and third floor for the past 15 years. After taking over by the new owner, she have repaint and upgrade, do some alterations, upgrade on the building. So you can see that the left and the right is the before and right is the after. There's change of the image of this units. And she have invited a bakery shop named Plain Manila. If you are those bakeries or cafe hunter, you should know about this one. The founder actually is a lawyer who quit a lawyer job and run this confection, and she's very successful. Yeah. Also for the second level and third level, she also changed of the use from resi to commercial. Currently, the second floor is occupied by a playgroup school, while the third floor is by an office. Definitely, this have improved the profile of the property as well as the rentals. Yeah. By increase this rental use, indirectly also increase the properties values as well. Okay. So this is the minor that how you can trigger with change of use on the unit. Yep. Next. Okay, this is interesting part. OIQ, maybe you can tell us where is this located?
Which one? The left one, center one, or the right one?
Actually, it's the same unit.
Oh, they are the same. Looks different.
Look different, right?
Yeah.
This
I
is
think this
located.
is not sure. Is it Kampong Glam area?
Very far. Okay, this one actually located at Keong Saik is conserved historicals. So when you talk about conserved historicals area, can we do change to the building? How like you?
Do the change. This
I mean,
don't
do
think can.
alteration to the buildings.
No, cannot.
No, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, you are correct. You cannot do the change, but on the outer surface, the facade, everything have to maintain. So you see this new owners taking over. The left hand side actually is the original condition of the unit. After the new owner taking over of this unit, he do some restoration of the facade, so it looks more grand and nicer. Okay. And this unit actually originally was fully used for office. Okay. In order to improve the profile, the owner actually convert the ground floor to F&B after checking the allowed license use. So the owner have put in some invest some money to upgrade the power supply, because for F&B normally you need a higher supply from single phase to three phase. In the ventilation system according to the UIA BCA's requirements, as well as a restrict. So currently the ground floor actually tenanted by a Japanese restaurant. It's quite a premium sub restaurants. And the second and third level are open for office. Maybe we can go to the next slide. So this is the internal looks of the second and third story. So you can see that even though it's a shop house, it can be so spacious and functional for office after we do the partitions and everything. Actually, internally, even it's a historical conserve unit, internally you still can do the changes on the partition and the space and upgrade on the facilities. Yep. Some even they have installed a lift, passenger lift in the building. Okay. Okay. This is an interesting place. Maybe Karen can tell us where is this location?
Wow, it's really very nice. I would have been so tempted to say around Chinatown, but I see the photo like got some Malay and so on. So I would guess it's more the Kampong Glam area.
Yeah, you're correct. This is located in Kampong Glam. As you aware that now the tourists nowadays they are not coming just for shopping or anything. They're actually more on the how to say appreciation of the cultures and also the stories. So this mural art has become very popular. So some owners have spent money to invite some artists to draw this mural arts. And you can see that on the left hand side, actually, I extract from one of the tourist agents. They even have a package of mural art check-in roadmap for the tourists. So this help to attract and the tourists to the spot and increase the footfall. This is how it will help the property owners to improve on the profile of the property without spending much money. Yeah. Next. All right. This is the most interesting part that YQ can tell us where is the Starbucks located.
Starbucks. I'm a coffee drinker, so I confirm know where is this place. This is the latest one at Smith Street, Chinatown.
Yeah, this is the latest so-called Dhaka place. Because of the building, they have repainted it to become so colorful. And this is one of the concept store of Starbucks. You not only can enjoy coffee, but also there are some special limited souvenirs for sale at this store. Okay, so some of the owner actually have invited this kind of premium tenants into their units. Okay, this have changed the crowd of the visitor to the spot, as well as increase the footfall. Just like this Sing Parker nowadays is very become one of the main visit of the tourists when they visit Chinatowns, because you can't see such a beautiful buildings in other place. Yep. The center one actually is a shoe store. It's so elegant that the feeling of walking into a shop in a shopping mall and to this kind of shop house are totally different. It looks like atas face, atas feel lah. Then when you want to sell your unit, it's a totally different level. Right? Okay. Next. Okay, come to ladies' favorites. Okay,
My favorite also.
your favorite also. Okay, actually, this two shop is a flagship store by Coach. In fact, this Coach store actually located just next to the unit that I just showed, which they have convert the first floor to the F&Bs and the internal changes, right? So, and the left hand side, this one actually introduced by YQ. YQ, tell us where is this location?
This is at Joo area.
Duchet is a pop-up store, right?
Sorry?
It's a pop-up store, right?
Correct. It's a pop-up store. So it only exists for 2 months, and then just to have some of the related Murakami products.
Oh, okay. But during the 2 months, the crowd have increased a lot along this street, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And basically you can see everyone was taking photos, and even Instagram you can see is everyone is posting it.
yeah. So, I mean, this is one of the critique by shop owner collaborate with all these premiums retailer to increase their exposure of their units. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this one will pass to IQ to explain and introduce.
Okay, thank you, GH. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is YQ. So, GH already shared that apart from the luxury fashion brands, right, Michelin star restaurants are also keen in renting all these heritage shops, especially the conservation areas lah. So just for this example, right, you can see two-star Michelin restaurant Tiva is located in this Muhammad Sultan area. Okay, previously they were also operated in conservation area in Cheong Sia. Then because they need a bigger space, so they move over to this Muhammad Sultan area. And yet this because both are conservation shop house, so it maintains their story of the chef heritage. Next. So what are the major upgrades you can do to enhance the value of the shop house? So one way is to further increase the build-up size to maximize the GFA. So this is only applicable to shop houses located in the secondary settlement areas where there is a plot ratio. Okay. Another way of increasing the value is to amalgamate. Amalgamate means you join a few two or more shop houses together. So make it into a bigger size shop houses. Then you apply a change of use to a higher demand, such as restaurant or even hotel. Next. So let us look at this particular shop house located at Carpenter Street. I think you all can see the street over here lah. So this is located in secondary settlement area. So it was sold for 37 million in 2018. Can anyone guess how much it was sold recently? Just a few months ago only. You may type your answers in the Q&A chat.
Yeah, maybe make a guess. Kelly, make a guess. How much does this unit was sold at? Somewhere
If
in
I
April
want to,
2025.
if I guess, it's just a short 7 years, maybe in 50 million.
50.
I think
Okay.
it's
By
zero.
zero.
I think you can increase a bit more.
The seller will say, I don't want to, I will reject you 50 million. Reject.
Change agent.
Change agent.
So anyone would like to guess?
We have our guest making a guess of 46 million. We have someone actually make a guess of 55 million. And we have someone make a guess of 88 million. Wow.
Nah.
Wow, 88, a very good number. Very, very close. Very close.
Very close, correct.
Hey, YQ can review the answer.
Yeah, can.
Okay, let's start.
Okay, so the answer is close to 100 million lah. Oh, so it's just recently transacted only lah. So how do they do it? How come can increase by almost three times the purchase price? Okay. So just look at just look at the picture on the right side lah. Oh. So this is exactly the same building. But what has been done is actually you can see the real annex. Okay, they have already built out this area. Okay, so they maximize the GFA. Okay, and increase the stories to six stories. Okay, another thing is the owner, right, they apply a change of use. So previously it was shops and restaurant only. So after that, after purchase, right, they apply the change of use to hotel. So it becomes very big property. Okay, because of these upgrades, right, the building has won several prestigious awards for their designs. Okay, next.
Yeah, actually, this YQ, something to add on. So maybe make a guess that this property actually is freehold, okay, or 99-year leasehold. Yeah. Just make a guess. Actually, this unit is surprisingly someone just answer okay, it's 99-year leasehold. Correct, Hiroshi. Yeah, thank you so much for your response. So actually, this unit has do a top-up premium. Okay, they top up to leasehold at 99 leasehold. Okay, I think they top up during 2002 something maybe 2022 or 2023. Okay, so that's where they top up, and they increase the tenure to 99 leasehold. Okay, so it's like a fresh 99 leasehold. Yep. Okay, good.
So I'm going to share the classifications of various districts and the price range of the more popular gems are located. Okay. So first we look at the golden class gem lah. Okay. So these properties, right, are located in CBD area, mainly the district 1 and 2 lah. So these areas have strong rental demand, and the typical tenants are usually the high-end F&B restaurants and also offices. So I think basically my example is also located in this area lah. So the quantum they have already transacted between 9 and 16 million. So if let's say you have comfortably you have this amount of savings, or you have this amount of funds, right, you can actually look at this area. Next. So next up is the silver class which is the up and coming. Okay, so these properties, they are the emerging area for Shophouse investors, as the entry price are quite favorable okay, because of the strong cultural heritage. So these areas are the hotspots for tourists and have transacted between 6 and 10 million over here So if you are familiar with the Katong Heritage Tour, right, so basically along Katong area, there are a lot of tourists going around taking the photos of the shop houses and some murals. So you can explore this area Okay, so also, right, just now I think Karen also mentioned this increase this Boat Quay area going to increase the not say increase, going to have a later operation timing, right? So likewise, this Kampong Glam area, they are famous for their nightlife also. So people are also looking at this area for pubs and drinking activities Okay, next. So next up is the safe entry classes. Okay, so these properties are mainly located in the Little India Conservation Area. Okay, the entry price are quite palatable for smaller players. Prices have transacted between $3 million and $8 million. Okay, with this information, right, we should be able to know which are the quantum, which are the areas that you can enter. So next up, right, is our hot picks. So Richard, do you have anything to share?
Yes. Yeah, thank you so much, all the four speaker. Actually, the last four slides from YQ actually is something that you can actually look into it. Okay, of course, beside the hot pick that we are going to share. So if you are looking at the Little India range of 5.8 million, you know, the 4.8 million range. If you have following us, you know, just now we have some case study, you know, on some residential client who actually come in and join share, you know, co-share into this type of shop houses, commercial property by setting up a holding company. Actually, any unit here, if you have a 2 or 3 friends coming together, you can actually come in and buy. So my suggestion is, you know, you get for those who has invited by your agents, connect with them.